What up? It's Alex. And yeah, I cut my flippy hair off. And now I have this. I don't know, I just got tired of my hair, so yeah. so tips on coming out to like family, friends, I don't know, teachers, stuff like that. So I am out to my friends and my teachers, but not my family, and that's like the big one. So I don't really know how much like help I can give you, but I'll try. The lighting's weird. I'm sorry. Yeah. So with family, I can give you advice, but it's not something that I'm gonna do myself. I've heard people say you can write letters and you can just I don't know, that's what I would do, but I'm not doing that because I don't feel like I need to come out to them because I don't want to. That's just me personally. I feel like it's not their business because I'm not really close with my family, so it's like, do your own thing in my house. So yeah, but I've heard that you can write letters, and that is like a better way because if you don't want to say it like face to face, you can just write them a letter, and it'd be nice. So you can do that for family. With friends, it was just kind of like I gradually told people, especially with like my closest friend, I was just like, yep, I'm trans. So, and then on Facebook, I just kept posting stuff like all about like LGBT stuff, and I was posting about being gay, and then it eventually got into being trans, and then it was eventually it just kept progressing more and more. Then I would post about being trans, and then I'd be more open about it. So that happened, and there's a trans kid in my school. Well, there are a couple of trans kids in my school, so that's cool. Cause like at my school, it's not like people don't know because there are other kids that are trans, so it's cool. Yeah. So with friends, it was just kind of like, for me, it was just tell them, and they were chill with it. None of my friends really had a problem with it, except one of my friends doesn't really. It doesn't really process in her mind. Like, she'll always say that I'm her wife and stuff, and I'm just like, no, I'm your husband. And she's like, oh, okay. And then she like calls me your wife, and I'm just like, oh, okay. It's weird. Like, I don't know. But yeah, like she knows that I'm trans, but she like doesn't understand. So yeah, and I don't like ask people to call me he. Like, I'm not one of those people that are like get really pissed off if you don't call me he. I'm just like, whatever, like do whatever you want. I don't care. Yeah. And then teachers. This was a big thing for me this year. I actually did come out to my teachers this year because of stuff that I had to do. So basically with me, my teachers, well, I'm a freshman in high school, so this was like first year of high school. So like I didn't. I mean, high school in general is scary, but when you're like a trans kid, it's scarier for me. I thought it was scary because I was just like, how do I tell them this? First of all, because in eighth grade I was just like, I was like out to everyone by like almost the end of eighth grade. So I was like, whatever, I'll just let it slide. Like, I'm not gonna go tell them that I'm trans now because it won't really matter because I'm never gonna see them again, like my teachers and stuff. So this year, like the first week of high school, I decided that I was gonna tell all my teachers that I was trans. And my math teacher, he was wicked cool about it. He's my favorite teacher. He's so awesome and like accepting. It's great. I told him I was trans, and he was like, "Oh wow, really? I had no idea. I thought you were just a boy." And I was like, "Yeah," I was so happy. I was just like, "I passed so well. This is awesome." And he was like, "So," and then he would start asking me questions. He's like, "Oh, do you want to be called like what pronouns do you want me to use?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, use he in class because in my math class there are kids from my old school that know that I'm trans but like don't call me he, so it's wicked fucking annoying. And then there are kids from like another school district that like don't know me, so it's like they call me he because they just don't know that I'm trans, which is cool. So he calls me he. And with my English teacher's fucking annoying as shit. Like, you don't even understand. Like, I told him I was he, right, and that I was trans. Like, I wanted him to call me he and stuff. And he started asking me all these questions. Like, I just don't like him in general as a person. And I just found his questions annoying. He's like, oh, well, have you talked about it with your family? And I'm like, no, I have not. So, like, the thing I told my teachers was to call me he in class. And then if there was, like, an open house or they ever had to email my parents to call, like, use she. And that's what I did. But my English teacher, he keeps calling me she. So I'm going to have to talk to him about that. And then my history teacher, I didn't talk to him about it because I just didn't want to. And it's too late now because the first semester is almost over and I'm stupid as shit and I should have talked to him when I had the chance. But he just thinks I'm a guy, so whatever. And then my science teacher, I told my science teacher and he was just like, alright, whatever. And, like, I pulled him out in the hallway. I pulled them out in the hallway and I was like, oh, I'm trans, so can you, like, call me he? And he didn't even ask any questions. He was just like, yeah, sure, whatever, cool. And then that was the end of that. So, mainly, teachers pretty much have to be accepting, because then they shouldn't be teaching. So that's my thing. Like, if they're not accepting of you, then just be like, you know what, you shouldn't be a teacher, because you have to deal with kids, and this is who I am, and if you can't accept that, well, then you shouldn't be a teacher. So, that's what I did. And I will tell you, it was terrifying to go up to these strangers that I would be with for the next year and tell them that I was trans. And for me, when people call me he, this is just, I don't know if like other people feel this way. When people call me he, and they don't know I'm trans and they just assume I'm a guy, I feel like I'm lying to them. So, yeah, I feel like I'm lying to them, and I feel like I'm, like, misleading them, so that's why I told them, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm trans. But, yeah, like, even with, like, kids and, like, other kids and stuff, I feel like I'm lying to everyone if they call me he and they, like, don't know I'm trans. But, yeah. And then, for, like, other kids in my school, I don't feel the need to come out to them. Like, I'm just like, whatever. Like, whatever. I'm gonna be with you the next 4 years, but, like, word's gonna get around. Like, people are gonna talk about me and stuff, so whatever. They can just find out on their own time. Like, I don't need to go announce to the whole school that I'm trans. Like, whatever. They can just deal with it. So yeah, that's me. That's how I came out to people. Yeah. But with friends, like, if people aren't accepting of you, then you need to get them out of your life, because, like, this didn't happen for me. Like, everyone is pretty accepting, and they weren't like, oh, I don't want to be your friend anymore because you're trans, blah, blah, blah. Like, it was just like, oh, okay, whatever. I do have a couple good friends who are really, really good about it, and, like, and those are most people that are, like, in other LGBT, whether, like, gay or something. So, that's cool. Like, most people who are, like, part of the LGBT community are really, really understanding of our, like, situation. Because, like, they get it. Like, they get being, like, discriminated on and, like, all this stuff. So, like, they understand. But, like, when people are, like, straight or don't understand this, it's different. But a couple of my friends understand really well, so that's good. So they're, like, down with it. So, yeah. But, yeah. My hair's being annoying. But that's tips on coming out. I'll see you next Saturday. And don't hate me too much because I cut my hair off. Okay, bye.